Hi there. Today we're going to talk about the volume-based business model as promised from my previous video called Multiple Six Figures in 9 Months. So if you follow me, I don't talk about the volume-based business model much because my whole vibe is the less clients, more dineros method. Now, I'm not against volume-based. I think there's a time and a place for it inside of every business, and it can become super, super lucrative, right? So there's sort of two different styles of volume-based business models, which they would all be products, but they're slightly different, right? So this one would be more like an info product, and this would be more like a physical product. So you have a physical thing to sell, and this one is more info. So the info could be like courses, ebooks. In this case, I'll put real books too, where that kind of goes into physical, but it's still information. So we'll just consider a book of any style on this side. So it could be a course, a book, different types of information that you're packaging up and distributing, right? Whereas a physical thing is literally a physical product where it could be like on Amazon, it could be sold through your own website, Shopify. So on site, Shopify, etc. There's so many ways, brick and mortar, etc., etc. You will know the difference depending on which style of product that you're working with, whether it's like an info-based product or a physical-based product. Now, these are both what I would consider the volume-based model, right? Where in this case, especially for the info one, you create the content once and you can sell infinitely. Whereas on the physical side, this is slightly different, where you say you create maybe it's the prototype or the design, or you get a batch of something. So it's sort of like you kind of create once and then you sell what you have, and then you kind of need to like order another set, right? Order more quantities and then you sell more again. So that's where these two models differentiate from each other, where the info product you create once and you can sell it over and over and over again. You don't ever need to like reorder more unless it's an actual physical book. And then on this side, there's more like purchase and order and like merchandising, where it's like filling your stock, deciding how much stock to create, and then, you know, distributing and selling all of that, ordering more, distributing and selling all of that, and hopefully being able to get your quantities up so you can bring your price down and have a higher profit margin, right? That's the goal with this type of business model, the physical one, right? And then on this case, the info product is a little bit different, where you just want to find that sweet spot in price where you are making sales consistently. Now, for some people, my toxic habit was just creating new products over and over and over again, where, so I'll kind of do a little example of this. I think this can also make sense for this side, but I'll explain it on this side because this is what my experience was. So my toxic trait was just creating something new all the time. Each month, even every few weeks, I would create something new. And this actually became a disservice to me. So this is a disservice when you have, say, a smaller to medium lukewarm audience. The only time that this becomes effective is when you have a huge audience of hot buyers and you have a lot of data, and then you can start creating new things that this audience is asking for you, right? So in the past, I did it the wrong order, where I was just creating, but I didn't have the audience and the buyers list to support that type of creation, right? So it's not a bad thing. Of course, I learned a lot from it, but I could have done it better. So what I recommend now in my current understanding is with the info product type business model, and I think this also can translate to this side, is first starting with the top end, which is the less clients, more dineros method, where you focus on premium and at least mid-ticket pricing and fill that out. And then use that data and the information you're gathering from all of this wealth of knowledge and wisdom and the money as well, and then reinvest that into figuring out your product. So I think in my current beliefs and understanding, I think it makes more sense to start with one killer product and learn and that's supposed to be an N. Learn and master how to scale this to the moon. That is more effective, right? Than trying to create new things all the time and getting subpar results or cashing out, say, a little bit. It's more effective to first learn how to make one killer product. So it really depends on your business model, what that should be. For some of you, that might be a book. For some of you, that might be a course or a program, etc. Right? Maybe a short like giveaway, but more like a paid one, etc. It just depends on what your business is, what you're selling, what kind of audience you have, the how experienced you are, you know. But I would say that it's more effective to really master this. And the goal, what I would say again, is to make this a 6 to 7 figure income stream, right? So that would be like the goal, like high 6 to 7 figure income stream with your one killer product. Now, when you do this correctly and you fill out your top end, you gather such valuable data on these people, you're able to create a product that will lead people that are just before this place in your world to give them the steps, the education, the mindset that they need to level up and become and ascend to your premium or mid-ticket space, right? So I want to talk a little bit now about the product side, just so that they get some goodies on this as well. So with a product, I wouldn't necessarily say, I'm just gonna put product here, info. So this is info product, this is like a physical product. On this side, I wouldn't necessarily say you need to start with one killer product. It depends what your business model is, right? So with a storefront, whether that's brick and mortar or online, I think that a storefront with only one product kind of, it doesn't feel exciting, right? Now, this isn't always the case because I'm just thinking now, boring. Now, this isn't always the case because now I'm just thinking about a fashion influencer that I follow, and she created a type of planning journal, and that's like her only product on this one webpage. Now, for her, that works because she has millions and millions of followers and sells, that's not her only income stream. That's almost just like a bonus at this point, a passion project. So she created this planner because she couldn't find one that she loved and then decided to make her own. Boom. She already is making millions of dollars, influencing, doing brand deals, things like that, right? So she can have like one product and it kind of works. But not everyone has that means, right? I think for a storefront, it's more interesting to have a few products. And this is the discernment part where you don't need to have every single SKU under the sun. I would figure out and test your few categories that you think are going to be, I might spell that wrong, but really nailing your categories, right? So that comes from market research, from other businesses, and from your dream clients, right? So doing some market research on the different categories and SKUs that you could potentially be hosting in your storefront, and then picking a few, maybe not one, but maybe not 20, right? I don't know what the sweet spot is here because it really depends. The vibe of the product, physical product business is you want to create repeat customers and figuring out a type of product that will equal people always coming back to you. So yeah, repeat customers is the goal. If this is just like a one-off sale, it's again not impossible to make a great business, but you need a huge audience, or you consistently need to be, oops, sorry, there we go, my mouse went funny. Or you need to like consistently be growing your audience. Now, that's not impossible. You can use paid ads for that, and other strategies to always be getting in front of new people. But the more sustainable approach, which I think that you probably want as well, is finding a way to create either some kind of like subscription model, recurring customers, this type of thing. So the concept that's coming to my mind right now is, say, a hairstylist. You know, their main offer is the hair service, but they also sell product. After the service, they can recommend products that they have used in that service to give them the result that they see with their hair. And then maybe not every customer is going to buy every time, but the more they offer product on top of the hair service, the more sales that they can make, right? So this is like an extension where they're doing this service-based offering, right? And this can also be at a premium. And then off the back of that, upsell them to a product, right? And then the other upsell here is booking the follow-on appointment. Booking the follow-up appointment. So this is becoming a good loop, not the hamster wheel loop, because I drew this symbol before, but this is a good loop where it becomes reoccurring, and this is the goal, right? It's the same client that's going to get the hair service, buy the product, and then book again and continue this loop where they're going to come in for another service, and maybe next time they're going to buy a different product or more of the same product, and then they're going to book their appointment again. Oh my gosh, then every few months this one client's coming back. If you do that 50x times, you're going to have 50 clients who are getting an insane service and continuing to buy product, and hopefully referring you if you do a great job, right? This is a very, very good sales cycle, right? So if you don't have that type of business model with your physical products, you want to think about how you can create some kind of reoccurring aspect to your business and still doing it in an ethical way, right? Where you make a high quality product that's so good that they want to keep coming back to you to buy over and over again. Like you become their person, right? Oh, I'm just thinking about this right now. So right now I'm using a Mac. I'm using a Mac, Apple laptop. Since I moved to using Mac laptops, it's become a religious thing in my world where I just buy another Mac, right? So I went from Mac to Mac to Mac to Mac. Like every time I buy a new laptop, it's a Mac, right? And on the flip side of that, this is actually funny. With my phones, I, for some reason, always buy an Android phone. So I always have my Mac laptops, and I'm always buying over and over and over and over again. So many laptops, right? Over the years. And then with my phone, it doesn't matter what phone you have, but think about this, it's quite interesting. For me, I've always gravitated towards Android for some reason. I have had an iPhone before, and then I went back to Android. So I just bought more and more and more Androids over the years, right? So I was a reoccurring customer over the years. So when you become their person, it doesn't necessarily have to mean every month, or even in a short-term thing, but you want to think about the lifetime value of a customer. And this is for both sides, for info and for physical products. This is huge, huge, huge. What is the lifetime value of your customers? So over the years, I can't remember, but even just in the last few years, Troy and I have bought more than 3 laptops, you know. That's like, you know, 6K or so right there, just in the last few years that we've spent on Apple, just on laptops, right? And then in the last few years, we've bought 2 or 3 phones as well. And that's a little bit of a smaller ticket thing, but plus a phone plan, that could be anywhere from, you know, $200 to $500 a year each phone, right? So that's again a reoccurring model to those phone companies where they're getting $200 to $500 a year off of us, each phone that we buy, right? So how can you create a physical product-based business that creates some kind of reoccurring vibe to it, right? Now, coming back to the info side, and how we were talking about you really just need one killer product out of the gate. And then once you nail this income stream and make it something really high value, and people even start ascending, you can then start playing with, you know, another one. But it's like nailing the one first, and then later, much later, adding the next one, right? And these two, this is like quantum math where it gets really fun. These two products can become, you know, 7 to 8 figure income streams if you do it really well, you know, plus like this, there's really no end to this, right? When you do it really well. And this is my desire, my goal with all my clients is to first, on the info side, if you're say a consultant, a coach, or some kind of service provider, it's really fill your premium and mid, so some kind of mid and premium offering. This at the top end would be 6 to 7 figure per client. This could be, you know, 10 to 50K plus per client. And then once you have this nailed out, and this has become, you know, super high value and your world is full, we can then create your scalable offer. And just to be honest, like, it doesn't have to go in this order of operations, because for some people this feels like limiting, or it doesn't feel like the way. Let's just pretend there wasn't a proper order, quote unquote, a proper order for this, but these are kind of like the 3 things that you want to build out in your business. And depending where you are, you know, even on the physical product side, you want to have a premium, you know, one, a mid, and even a scalable one that can just sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. Like it's a no-brainer offer. You still want to find these 3 tiers within your product suite as well. So this conversation goes for all of you. But scalable offering, premium, and mid, you want to, yeah, okay, this is what I was saying. The variables. The variables for this are what kind of audience do you have? Is it small, medium, large? Are they lukewarm? Are they, you know, cold? Are they hot? So these factors here and here are really a big, they're a big reason, like where we start the strategy. I guess that's what I want to say. So depending on your audience size, small, medium, large, cold, lukewarm, and hot, that is where, how we decide which type of offer to start with, right? So if you already have a large, hot audience, you might be able to implement a scalable offer right away, or a scalable product, and rock it and explode a scalable offer, you know. But say you have a smaller, lukewarm audience, then maybe for you it makes sense to start with a mid-ticket, community-based offering, right? But if you have a small to medium, cold, moving towards maybe lukewarm, I would actually start with premium, sell out your premium, build up your cash flow and your income, and then reinvest it into mid and scalable, right? So this is sort of the variable that you always want to come back to looking at. What type of audience do you have? Small, medium, large, cold, lukewarm, hot. And then you can really make a smart decision on what type of, like where to start in your business model on both sides, because a physical product and an info-based, service-based business, they both can have a premium, a mid-tier, and a scalable aspect. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to end this video now. If you have any questions, post them below in the comments. I'd love to answer any of your questions and Tune back in for another high value training really soon. Alicia Rep, the Energy Queen. And if you would like support to build out your business and your income streams, premium, mid, and scalable, check the comments below. I have the Boldest Edge Mastermind, which will help you rock your 6 and multiple 6-figure business. And you can also access one-to-one support with me, and we will develop your premium high 5-figure to 6-figure offering, build that into a wild, profitable income stream, build out your mid ticket, fill that out, and that scalable product, and build your high 6 to 7-figure business model. So I'm so excited, sending you so much love, and we'll see you in the next training.